Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, Tucson. Here it is. We're back in the studio at 106 The Groove. And we're thankful for all of our supporters been listening in, and we've been getting a lot of good feedback. Thank you for letting us know you've been listening in, you've been tuning in, and that's what it's all about. We've been wanting to hear from you and continue to hear from you. So yes, it is a brand new morning. And I hope that you are thankful to get up in the morning and have a health, life, and strength and be blessed to see another day. And so it's a brand new day. So get up, get up, get up. You hear me always say, get your Wheaties, get your cornflakes, frosted flakes, your raisin bran, your cream of wheat, oatmeal, whatever you like. It's the Fresh Start Show with Dr. Holt. We are excited to be with you on this morning. Tom wasn't feeling well. He's not in the building on today, but it's okay. We praying that he gets well and recover well. In the meantime, let's go, y'all. It's been a mighty long time since I've actually been in the show, in the studio, solo on my own. A very long time. It actually feels a little weird, but hey, it is what it is, and we're happy to be with you on today. We are excited for another episode of the Fresh Start Show. And we want to always encourage our brothers and sisters who are currently incarcerated or formerly incarcerated. We're excited about your fresh start and your new journey that is taking place for you. We know we have brothers and sisters throughout the year coming out of prison, and we're excited for the great things that's getting ready to take place for your life. Listen, we believe in our mission where everyone deserves a new beginning. Not just a second chance, not a third chance or a 10th chance, but a new beginning. And you ought to be excited for your new beginning. We know mistakes should be a life lesson, but never should it be a life sentence. Let me say that again. Mistakes should be a life lesson, but it shall never, ever, ever be a life sentence. We know that in the state of Arizona alone, we have over 100,000 people who have a felony background, who's been incarcerated, is disenfranchised to vote. They lost all of their voters' rights. They can't vote. And we want to be able to continue to provide services to make an impact that even though someone may have made bad choices in life and they completed their sentence, they should have a real fresh start. We know in this country that if you are a felon, that felony is going to follow you for the rest of your life, male or female. Wow, think about that. It's following felons for the rest of their life, and it should not be like that. If you completed your sentence, you should be able to have a real fresh start, have a new beginning, and walk into your new journey. Oh no, but not in our criminal justice system. And it is not a broken system. I hear people say, "Oh, it's a broken system." No, it's not a broken system. It is a designed system on purpose, and it is strategically and tangibly designed to impact people's lives when you are justice involved. And you heard me say all the time that when we are talking about the prison industry, they call the prison industry the Department of Corrections. The Department of Corrections. Hear me say it again. The Department of Corrections. Well, if you are the Department of Corrections, my question is, what in the heck are you correcting? Help me understand, what are you correcting? The Department of Corrections should be helping people with psychiatric disorders that's in prison. The Department of Corrections should be correcting in such a way that they are helping people who are incarcerated to be educated and be informed to prepare them with the life skills that they need when they are released back into society. The Department of Corrections, if you are really about correcting, when people have PTSD, paranoia, and depression and mental illness, we should be correcting in such a way that we are making sure that people are getting services that they need, getting the psych services, getting the medication services that they need so that they are mentally, emotionally, and physically well. Really, what we sing in the Department of Corrections or in prison, the DOC, is really nothing but the Department of Punishment. Y'all heard me. It's really nothing but the Department of Punishment, which means that prison is really, really great at punishing people who are incarcerated to the point that even when they are ready to be released, they lack many of the skills. They're struggling with paranoia. They're struggling with a hyper aroused uh, nervous system. They're struggling with a paranoid brain or overstimulated brain. Their bodies have been overwritten with so much cortisol because of the stress and because of the fear of being in prison, the maladaptive treatment that takes place for people who have been incarcerated, that is confined, that is demonized, dehumanized, denigrated, disrespected at every kind of level. And then we wonder when they come out of prison, we wonder why they are in a mental and emotional state that they are. Prison rewires the brain. Let me say it again. It doesn't just impact the brain, brothers and sisters, it rewires the brain in such a way that it impacts your synapses, it impacts your amygdala, it impacts your neural pathways, your neurons, your neurotransmitters, your hippocampus. I can go on and on. Not trying to sound too scientific, but want to be more layman's term. That when you have been through a lot of stress and trauma, and a lot of people who are in prison have already experienced childhood trauma and unresolved traumas. Some of those unresolved traumas is the reason why many people are in prison today. And so, my friends, we need to understand that this stuff is real. If we're going to be the Department of Corrections, we need to start correcting something. You know, pairing our brothers and sisters with the tools, education, and skill sets to be able to have a mind not to never go back to prison, which impacts the recidivism rate. This is serious business. Our country incarcerate more people in this country than we do in any country in the world. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that I advocate and condone violence and condone criminal behavior, and we don't have safe neighborhoods. We don't have safe streets. Most definitely, yes. I got young children. I want them to be able to be minding their own business and going to their own destination, and they get there safe and they get back safe. I do want safe streets. But when we talk about public safety is bigger and broader than just, hiring 10,000 police officers on the street. Don't get me wrong, we need police officers, we need public servants to keep our streets safe, but that's not the only way how we promote public safety. One of the big ways how we promote public safety is to work with the people who are already incarcerated, that are on their way out, and we want to make sure that they have a mindset of wanting to rebuild, rebrand, redevelop their lives. And so this brings into the segue for my brothers and sisters who listen to the Fresh Start Show on 106 Groove every Saturday morning. Truly, 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 I just want to say thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. We understand that, there's technology now in prison. There's tablets and there's all kind of different things to bring people who are in incarcerated space into connecting with reality and connecting with community. But I want you to be encouraged, brothers and sisters. Don't never lose hope. Never lose hope. That's the word for you today. I know that it's tough. I know it gets rough. I know sometimes it gets discouraging. But I'm telling you today, never lose hope. Hope is the energy that gives life to your vision. It's energy that gives life to the dreams you still have that never died. Hope is an energy that gives you life when every door has been shut on you. When you, after doors have been shut on you and you still get up in the morning to go try again, that's hope. Hope is the twin brother of faith. All right. So when we have belief, that's walking in faith. When we have trust, we're walking in faith. But when we have hope, that's passion of an expectation for dreams to come true. That's what hope is, right? And so never quit, never lose hope. I know sometimes it gets rough. I know it gets hard sometimes, but never ever lose hope. And with that hope has to be hope in action, not just hope in thought, not just hope in any in feelings, but hope must be a passion of action. If you really have hope, my brothers and sisters who are incarcerated, former incarcerated, there is a responsibility to call of action. There is a call of action. There is something that pulls us and compels us to continue to keep pressing on despite the disappointments, despite the rejections, despite people telling you no, people telling you didn't get the job, people said you did not qualify for this apartment. I mean, let me tell you, it really gets rough sometimes. But Dr. Hope wants to remind you, if you're listening to this, never lose hope. Never lose hope. Well, I got 8 effective things for you today in regards that I wanted to discuss when it comes to never losing hope. 8 things for us to do to show us that we are not losing hope. One of the top things when you get out of prison, you're going to need a place to stay. You're going to need housing. So that's point 1. Everybody need housing. It's unhumane as an American to live in the richest country in the world and not have a roof over your head and not have a place to stay. Everybody needs safety and shelter. Matter of fact, that even helps the brain come out of that fight or flight from cortisol to feeling safe and sound and secure. And so, number one of the big things you got to be working on when you get out of prison is having a stable home for so many reasons. For one, you need shelter and safety. 2, your children and family need stability. They need stability. And stability, again, helps us to get out of that fight or flight and feel safe and feel calm, cool, and collected. So, number one, we got to be working on where are you going to stay? Yes, for a moment, you may be able to live with family. Yes, for a moment, you may be able to live with friends. But my friends, let me tell you, one of the big things you're going to need when you come out of prison is housing. Now, even though that's one of the most important and prioritized items on the agenda far as turning your life around, but it also is one of the most difficult resources to have. People is not just letting you just walk up on a property and rent their homes and rent their apartments. And that's what sucks about having that felony tracking you and following you for the rest of your life, because it impacts and create barriers between resources. So that number one is housing. Number two is going to be employment. You knew that was coming, right? After you get stabilized, you got a place to stay. You can lay your head down, get some rest, have shelter, have safety. Next thing, you need a stream of income. Let me say that again. You need a stream of income. Well, one of the big ways how you're going to get consistent and consistent and persistent stream of income, you're going to need a job. You're going to need a job. And job is going to be the second thing you're going to need as far as this 8-point plan of a fresh start. You got to get employment and get a stream of income, get some cash flow coming in so that you can pay them bills. You just got that. You just got that apartment. That landlord gave you a chance. Probably normally don't do it, but you seem like you're a good person. Seem like you want to get your life together. So that landlord gave you a shot. Now, one of the biggest things you want to do, if the landlord gave you a shot when you really could have been disqualified to live on their property, you do not want to let the landlord down by not paying your landlord on time. Let me say that again. If you are on a second chance program in housing and they're letting you stay on their property, let me tell you, if they took a chance on you, do not disappoint them and mess up that opportunity because you're not paying your landlord on time. One of the great ways, if you do have a background issue, is building a healthy relationship with your landlord, so you can have a long-term relationship with them. You can stay for as long as you need. But one thing that'll get you kicked out and burn a bridge if you're not paying your landlord or your bills on time. So, two, you need employment, and the employment help you stabilize the home that you got, pay your rent, pay your mortgage, pay your utilities, pay your monthly responsibilities like you should. And that's going to come from a job, earning income. Three, legal and financial assistance. Work on your legal issues. Now that you're out of prison, now you got a job, you should be going to things like restorations, rights and restoration clinics, or coming to our event, Fresh Start Clinics, Fresh Start Expo, or Second Chance. You should be doing those things, or also going to the Pima County Transition Center. Let's not forget about them as well. To get the resources that you need, you're going to need legal and you're going to need financial resources. So work on those things. Four, take advantage of the reentry programs and support services. Participate in reentry programs that offer counseling, mentorship, support, networks to help you navigate societal integration. Listen, you need as much help as possible. Don't let your ego down. I know one thing, people that's in prison, we have a high ego, right? We don't want nobody helping us. We don't want nobody say that they helped us. No, everyone at some point in their life always need some help. Five, healthcare and substance abuse treatment. Perhaps you are struggling with addictions, and sometimes people went into prison without an addiction, but came out with an addiction because there's so much drugs in prison. So perhaps you may need some substance abuse counseling to help you through your addictive struggles and your addictive behaviors. Six, family and community connections. Rebuild relationships with family and community, which can provide emotional support and stability. A lot of times, sometimes what got us even in prison in the first place is because the thing we were doing jeopardized and ruined relationships. Ruined relationships with mom and dad. Ruined relationships with brothers and sisters. Sometimes, yes, even ruined relationships with your spouse and your children. So one of the things when you're coming out of prison, you surely need to be working on is working on a restorative approach, restoration, because of relationships that have been harmed and that has been hurt. Then seven, education and skill development. You're going to need more tools in your toolkit. You're going to need more tools in your skills and strategies. How do I get that, Dr. Ho? I'm glad you asked me. You're going to get that through education. You need to be educated. Whether you're going to a community college, you got a grant to go to college or a university, or I always say again, don't sleep on these trades. You know, trades as far as electrician, trades like plumbing, trades like roofing, trades like carpentry are all still high-paying jobs around this time. And you don't have to have a degree. Some of these people are making six-figure incomes without a bachelor's or a master's degree. So you want to be able to get educated. Get off your high horse. Don't talk about, I don't want nobody's help. I can handle this alone. No, everybody needs some help. And let me tell you, uh, when you need resources and you need help and you need to be stable, it's hard out here living out on these streets. It's hard out here not having any help. So I advise you to get the help that you need. Every successful person, if you really look deep enough, had some help to help them get there. So education is going to be your best friend. Um, be a life learner. Always learn new ways to build your career, new ways to create extra streams of income. You're going to be needing that more and more. So yes, the job is helping money come in to pay the bills and to get you stabilized, but that's in the short term. If you got a felony background, most definitely to really create open doors for you, you need to have a broader long term vision. And that's going to include education, right? So you're going to need to go to school, get that education, get certified, start making more money, and you're going to begin to see life gets better little by little. And finally, eight, understanding rights and responsibility. Be informed about their legal issues, responsibilities, and any restrictions they may face, such as employment or housing limitations, which means that you should already know that you're going to get some no's. You should already know that some people is going to slam the door in your face. They were all excited when you filled out the application, did the interview, and then you told them about your background. Background came up, can't get the job. You're going to get some no's. You're going to get some rejections. But this is the good news about rejection. Rejection is nothing but direction. Hear me good. Rejection is nothing but direction. In other words, when one door closed, God redirects you and opens up another door. So those are the eight, Dr. Holt's 8 point plan, an 8 point blueprint that when we've been incarcerated, we have to start turning our life around. And so you can make it, you can do it, you can achieve, but you got to work hard. You can't give up, you can't quit. Everything in you, sometimes you're just going to get emotional, you're going to get angry, you're going to get frustrated, and you get tired of people telling you no. But let me tell you, there are some yeses out here. So I want you to be encouraged. I want you to pick your head up. I want you to believe in the God that you serve and believe in yourself, because I sense a turnaround is coming. With that being said, I want you to know that Fresh Start is hosting another empowerment clinic at the Goodwill at 1940 East Silver Lake, Tucson, Arizona, 85713. We want you to come out on May 17th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. We are only doing warrants and misdemeanor court issues. We are not doing felonies. We're not restoring rights. We're not sealing records. We're not doing any set-asides. That's all felonies, Superior Court matters. That's not going to take place until the October expo, okay? So hear me good. Please do not come to the clinic expecting felony involved, justice involved matters to be taken care of. That's not going to happen on May 17th. This is strictly warrant day. If you have a pending warrant, anything of that, and also I want to also throw in there, they're saying now that you have to, if you got a suspended license, you got to go to the DMV. The courts will not be handling that anymore. So if you got suspended license, go to the DMV. But we will be focusing on misdemeanor issues, legal issues with justice courts and city courts, May 17th. So come on down, meet us. If you got a warrant, stop looking over your back. Let's handle these warrants, and let's help you get your life right and get your situation right. All right, well, thank you. It's been another great edition of Fresh Start with Dr. Hope. We are excited for your new beginning. So please keep all of those announcements in mind. We want to thank all of our partners and supporters who tune in to the Fresh Start Show every Saturday morning at 7:30 a.m. Keep it locked. Next Saturday, we will be looking forward for you to be listening in at the 106 The Groove, where we want you to have a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful weekend. Hopefully you can go to church on Sunday, get your praise on. But until then, see you next Saturday on 106 The Groove. Fresh start.